Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and I've got a couple stories for you in this very latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam, including this one. Epic vs. Apple court ruling could open door to iOS crypto payments. And the reason I want to highlight this is because, well, a number of things. Potentially, this could be huge, not just for the crypto asset class, but specifically for XRP. Look, XRP is hands down the best cryptocurrency on the planet, specifically for payments. Now, no crypto is a one-size-fits-all. There are other cryptos that can do things for other use cases better than XRP could, and XRP can do like incredible things in the world of payments. And I'm just talking layer 1 technology. Now, beyond that, of course, I'm not going to get into this video, but XRP can be utilized for a whole host of other things with the addition of sidechains, which is something David Schwartz has been pushing for. So it's not to say XRP can't have additional utility that it doesn't have today, but if you're just looking on layer 1, my gosh, XRP, incredibly well suited to be used in terms of pretty much any application having to do with payments here. And a Ripple employee actually highlighted and I'm going to run through the story, but it specifically highlighted what this could mean for XRP. And so I want to highlight that. And also, there's another story which is fascinating. A cryptocurrency exchange is listing XRP despite the legal fight that we're seeing with the SEC going after Ripple. Now, how about that? It's one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in Japan, because look, here's the deal. Despite the legal nonsense going on in the SEC versus Ripple case, like the rest of the world doesn't give a damn what the SEC thinks about XRP. That's the truth. About 95% of XRP trading occurs outside the United States, and that's not just going to stop because of the asshats working at the SEC. So, not necessarily surprising to see this, but still, I say you just wait until this is all over. I still think globally XRP is probably going to go on quite the run. But before going any further, I do want to be clear. I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I'm not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos, but just as a hobby. So let's start with this story. Epic vs. Apple court ruling could open door to iOS crypto payments. So I'm going to run through this and tell you exactly what it might mean for XRP, including comments specifically on from a Ripple employee, specifically on what it might mean for XRP. Using cryptocurrency wallets to make payments within Apple's iOS ecosystem could soon become a lot easier thanks to a ruling today in the case between Fortnite developer Epic Games and the iPhone-making tech giant. Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers issued a permanent injunction in the case, ruling that Apple can no longer block iOS developers' ability to enable payments through external services. Currently, app developers on the platform can only route payments through Apple, which takes up to a 30% cut of all revenue for in-app purchases. Can I just pause right there? It must be good to be king. It must be good to be on top. This little walled ecosystem here, 30%, up to 30%. That's what, I had no idea. I did not know that. But yeah, so the payments through Apple, 30% for them. And when you're running the show, I guess it's easy to be able to do something like that. But damn, you can imagine what that does in terms of like the entirety of the ecosystem, because still developers, like think about what that would do in terms of margins, this or that. So it's just, here's the thing. Before I go further, like a level playing field where there's more competition is better for the end user. It's better for the consumers out there. Not as good for Apple, but definitely good for more people. Anyway, piece continues. Apple is, quote, hereby permanently restrained and enjoined from prohibiting developers from including in their apps and their metadata buttons external links or other calls to action that direct customers to purchasing mechanisms in addition to in-app purchasing, end quote, Gonzalez Rogers wrote in her ruling. The ruling will take effect in 90 days unless halted by a higher court. It's a major blow to Apple and its walled garden ecosystem strategy, which has generated immense amounts of revenue since the launch of the App Store in 2008. Apple's App Store reportedly yielded $64 billion in gross revenue in 2020 alone. Epic Games challenged Apple's locked down ecosystem in August 2020, updating the iOS version of Fortnite to add the ability to purchase in-game currency, which are V-Bucks, directly from Epic. That violated Apple's developer terms, and the game was removed from the App Store, thus leading to the legal showdown that was resolved today. The Android version of Fortnite was also removed from Google's Play Store due to a separate conflict. And so there are actually implications for cryptocurrency and specifically XRP, because I'll tell you what, if this benefits cryptocurrencies, why wouldn't it benefit XRP first, or why would that XRP be among the first to benefit when you're talking about, just from a technological perspective, the amazing payment attributes that XRP already has? You're talking about blazing fast speed at fractions of a penny. And on top of that, it's nice to note something that you can't even code into it. XRP is supremely liquid, so it's more likely to just continue to get adopted anyway, which means it's more likely that developers would be willing to take it on for this particular type of use case. And so shout out to Dictator Know-It-All, who tagged me in the tweet that's on your screen right now, where he shared Ripple employee Matt Hamilton's take on this. And so I want to give a shout out to Dictator Know-It-All for bringing this to my attention, because it's an interesting thread, and I wanted to touch on part of this here. And so here is Ripple employee Matt Hamilton's initial tweet in response to this news that broke just the other day. He wrote, "Potentially massive. This now breaks Apple's monopoly on payment mechanisms allowed in iOS apps. Now app developers will be allowed to take payment by other means, for example, via XRP. Well, how about that?" Now you might think, okay, well, this is self-serving. Matt, you're running an XRP YouTube channel. Is it really the case that potentially XRP could be used for this? The answer is yes. And I don't know exactly how everything's going to unfold. I don't know all of the dynamics as this is concerned. I just recently found out some of the implications of this and the fact that Apple's taken a massive cut on all of this. But yes, as you'll see, let me run through part of this Twitter thread. You're going to find this fascinating because the potential for XRP, it's actually rather astounding. And so XRP community member Neatsbucks had a question for Matt Hamilton and wrote the following. "Matt, can you elaborate more in a simple, non-technical way, especially with XRP as an example?" And Matt Hamilton obliged. He wrote, "Let's say I make a game. The basic game is free, but I want to allow players to buy additional levels in the game. Now, currently, the only way allowed is via Apple's in-app purchase system, of which Apple take as a sizable cut, 30%. After this ruling, Apple could no longer be able to stop an app developer instead taking maybe by some other mechanism. For example, they allow you to pay via some in XRP or via their own game token currency." And so that portion of it makes sense, but you might think, okay, so what's the reason that you'd want to accept XRP over, for example, a credit card? Well, let's get into that. Check this out. There's an individual here on Twitter, and his account is called Greg's Twin, and he's not so convinced that XRP would make sense here, and he's wrong. He's absolutely wrong, but check this out. It's an interesting thought exercise. So this is where Greg's Twin jumped in, and he wrote the following to Matt Hamilton. "So you think they will use XRP instead of credit card / PayPal? Hilarious." And then Matt Hamilton responded, "Well, it certainly gives the option and would be much cheaper and faster than a credit card. It would allow them to create and issue their own in-app currency if they wanted to as well." And Greg's Twin responded, "Cheaper and faster? ? A credit card has no charge and is instant, so that's wrong." And so upon reading that initially, I was like, oh, facepalm. No, you don't get it. And so at this point, now mind you, Matt Hamilton, he shares all sorts of thoughtful remarks and surrounding XRP and crypto, a number of topics here. But you never know when you're encountering a troll. And so his response was, "You are kidding, right?" Because frankly, and he ended up citing it later in the thread, he's like, "Look, I can't tell if you're just ignorant or if you're trolling me." Which is a perfectly reasonable response to somebody that says, cheaper and faster? A credit card has no charge and is instant? So that's wrong. Not understanding all of the dynamics in play here. And so Greg's twin did respond and wrote the following. How is a credit card slow? I type my credit card into Amazon and click pay, then it instantly comes out. How am I kidding? Why are you acting like a baby? I'm saying facts. And now he's calling Matt Hamilton a baby. You're acting like a baby. And Matt Hamilton responds with the following. Yes, credit card might be free and instant to you, but the app developer would be taking a 1 to 3% fee plus 3-day settlement. The XRP ledger is less than a cent per transaction in 3 seconds. Can you do micropayments with credit cards? Which is exactly. So he was missing the point. There's a difference between payments and settlement, which is something that I talk about when I talk about RippleNet and on-demand liquidity. There's a difference between payments and settlement. When you're talking about payment, that's actually just that's a misnomer, really. When you call something a payment, what we're actually talking about is the messaging system. That's not the money moving, right? Those are parties agreeing to various things via messaging. And it looks to the end user as though the money is moved, but it hasn't yet. The settlement is where the actual money moves, and that happens later. Because think about it. If you charge something on a credit card, you may, as the end user, feel like that transaction's complete, but it's not really, because you still have to pay the issue of your credit card, and then the credit card company, they have to pay the merchant. So it's not settled. It's not all said and done here, and there are all these fees. So think about this. If you're somebody that's developing an app and you can accept credit cards, and maybe you still would because most people use credit cards now, but what about another option? Like what if there's even a different price for using a different payment method like XRP? Because you wouldn't lose that 1 to 3%. You wouldn't. It would be fractions of a penny, and then it's settled in finality in 3 seconds. And I do think that people are going to be moving this direction. I do think you're going to see organic adoption of cryptocurrency in place of money in some portions of the world. I don't know how quickly it's going to happen, and I don't think fiat currencies are going to go away. I think there will always be a desire from governments regarding monetary sovereignty. Obviously, I don't think that's going away. But it doesn't mean there can't be a place for cryptocurrencies in place of, in certain instances at least, where money's used, as long as everything's technologically sufficient. But yeah, it's obvious. So the end user, you think it's free, but it's not. And then you understand if there are expenses from a developer or any sort of merchant on the planet, whether it's a restaurant or a retail store, just whatever it is, pick your company, you understand that those fees they're paying that to their merchant services provider, those 1 to 3% fees, which means that they have to sell what they're selling at a higher price. So you may feel like you're not paying it and it's free to you, but it's not, because it's built into the price of whatever the hell you're buying. That's the truth of the matter. And so Greg's twin here wasn't getting these simple concepts, unfortunately. But as far as XRP, perfectly suited for this type of use case. So don't be surprised if in the coming years you see cryptocurrencies, perhaps even XRP specifically built in, because XRP at this point, it's a legacy cryptocurrency, if I can use such a term. It's been around for almost since the beginning of the entire asset class, since inception. That's awesome. It's got real world adoption. I won't be surprised if something like this actually does happen, because it can solve problems for real people, right? On to the next story now. From You Today. XRP to be listed by Japanese exchange Taotao on September 22nd following merge with SBI VC Trade. While major U.S.-based exchange Coinbase refuses to resume XRP trading after suspending it at the start of the year, a major Japanese exchange is going to start trading the Ripple-affiliated cryptocurrency. According to news of Yahoo Japan, on September 22nd, Japanese crypto exchange Taotao, after 1600 local time, plans to add XRP to the list of cryptocurrencies traded on it. Trading will be launched after the maintenance of the platform on that day. The exchange offers trading pairs based on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash. Now, besides, on September 1st, the managing company of TaoTao merged with SBI VC Trade, a crypto exchange affiliated to SBI Group, a major partner of Ripple Labs in Japan. Yeah, and that's true. So that's why as soon as I saw the headline, I was like, okay. Not surprising if there's a merging there. SBI VC, they see a strong long-term future as it pertains not just for the partnership with Ripple, but XRP specifically. So not surprising, this exchange coming on board, because mind you, SBI VC Trade, they're already all on board with XRP. So yeah, so this platform now too will be. So that's why I said, like at the outset of the video, SEC asshats can do whatever the hell they want. The rest of the world just doesn't give a damn, and XRP is not just going to magically go away when it's solving real problems for real people the world over. I understand that markets can be shocked, which we saw in December with the news breaking about the legal filing against Ripple, and globally the price went down. That doesn't mean that XRP is not long-term viable. It just means that price cascaded down for a number of reasons. I'm sure stop losses were hit and there was actual real fear. But then the price did stabilize because everybody else that wasn't fearful was like, okay, this is a buying opportunity. Then it moved back up. So like my point is, I just don't believe XRP is going away. There's no indication of that. I'll go ahead and wrap up here, though. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.